Because I've asked the Lord to give me the speak of tongues a number of times.
The question is, what is tongues, though? Is it a known language or is it a private prayer language? I think if you look at the evidence, it's a known language.
As far as Christianity goes, there's a lot of different interpretations of the word. What's your feelings on denominations which are not biblical? And more specifically, the Pentecostal belief, they claim that the speaking of tongues is evidence of the Holy Ghost. If that is true, does that mean that Christians that do not speak in tongues are not really saved or have the Holy Ghost? How do you know if you have the Holy Ghost?
All right, excellent question. Let's deal with the tongues issue. I don't separate with my Pentecostal brothers and sisters over that issue, but I just don't think that tongues is required. And I think tongues are, certainly in the Bible, every time tongues are mentioned, tongues are known languages that other people can understand. Every time a tongue is spoken in the Bible, it's not a private prayer language. It's actually a spoken language. So the person who may not say, for example, speak Japanese, could get the gospel to a Japanese hearer by speaking that language. So I don't think tongues are a private prayer language. I think tongues are an actual language. But I don't separate from, this is a secondary or tertiary issue. And I certainly don't think, though, if someone's going to say you have to speak in tongues to be saved, that I don't think that's true. That, you know, Jesus didn't say that he came to have everyone speak in tongues. He came for people to trust in him.
Yeah, and I agree with that 100%.
Okay.
I've met some Pentecostals, and I've even attended a Pentecostal church for about a good year and a year and a half, and I believe in the speaking of tongues. But I also believe that not everyone speaks in tongues. You know what I'm saying? I believe that some people have the gift of prophecy, some people speak in tongues. And because I've asked the Lord to give me the speak of tongues a number of times.
The question is, what is tongues, though? Is it a known language or is it a private prayer language? I think if you look at the evidence, it's a known language. And I'll give you a reference on this. There's a great little app you can get. It's called Got Questions, the Got Questions app.
The gotquestions.org?
Got Questions, G-O-T Questions.
All right.
And the folks that put it together have answers to a lot of different questions. And if you just go in their app and search for tongues, you'll find an article on this that talks about how tongues are a known prayer, I mean, not a prayer language, but a known language from a spoken language.
Yeah.